Okie dokie. Hello there. Actually, welcome to my most recent video. And also, before we get started, my lovely patrons will go here. Uh, or there. I don't know if I decide. It'll show up there. But, this is kind of like a more interesting topic. Um, and this one is about, well, my weirdest moment so far in VRChat, or one of my weirdest moments, like, and it involves public lobbies. And I know for a lot of people, they really don't like public lobbies, and I don't either. And as of today or tonight, I've decided I'm done with them. I don't want to be invited to them, and I don't want to go to them anymore. The only way I'm gonna interact with like large amounts of people is never. I'm not doing that unless it's on my stream or with my YouTube comment section. That's it. I am completely done. And here's the reason for it. This was like the final like straw or whatever. This wasn't like me getting mad, but it was like a moment that made my heart drop straight to my ass. So, as I was talking with someone on a Discord call, right? I kind of forgot that I wasn't really muted, and it wasn't like an inappropriate conversation. It was quite a regular one when I was sitting there yapping about things, and I was discussing how I was eventually over the next couple of years, or like when I live on my own or something, learn how to do my transitional voice from male to female. And for those who are wondering, no, my original voice, how it is now, is not going to be fully gone. If anything, I'll still mostly be talking like this, but I'll be using the female voice for when I want to, and I just feel more comfortable doing it. But other than that, I was in there like talking about how that was going to kind of happen, and I said, yeah, I'll just be like kind of chilling there. I'll sound like a female, and all of a sudden I'll just flop like full blown nigga, like, cause And yeah, so those who are wondering, yes, I am obviously, well, black, so I can say that. And I said it without the ER too. I wasn't aware. I just couldn't say it. And everybody took that so seriously, bro. I was like around like maybe like 10 people. They were all, having their conversation, talking quite loudly, and they all immediately stopped as soon as I said that. And they looked at me. They just stared at me. That shit right there. I said a thing I wasn't supposed to, but that reaction wasn't justified because that makes people panic. And that made me panic on the inside. I'm not gonna lie. I just had the fucking freeze response because I was just fucking terrified. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of terrified. And then one of the other people said, you not use that language around here? And I'm like, yeah, sure, my bad, no problem. Everything just kind of went back to normal after that with them. But that, come on, bro. You don't do that. That's how you push people away from your community. You don't never do that. Especially people who aren't really like good with like social shit. So that was like the final kind of like straw. That kind of just cracked it. Now it's just, yeah, I can't do publics anymore. But yeah, you guys tell me how you feel about them, obviously. But I can't do it anymore. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of like, it's too much. It's just too much. I prefer to just hang out on my own, do my streaming, do my videos, hang out with my partner, that sort of thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. For not the video, but that kind of whole topic. But yeah, what I kind of find interesting is the response that you would have when you're like a more introverted person when it comes to those kind of things. Because a person who's more like, I think it's called extroverted or whatever, who will just go and like talk to anybody, they'd probably just kind of brush it off and just kind of continue on with their day. But for me, that like it sticks, and I overthink it for like several hours to maybe a couple days. And it doesn't sit well because now my brain's throwing out a bunch of different scenarios, and I was like, oh, what if I did this or said that or did this? And it's just like, why, dude? And that's why I kind of like fear having these like interactions where I do something wrong around a bunch of people, because all my brain's gonna do is overthink it and throw out a shit ton of scenarios as to what I should and shouldn't have done. and that is kind of stressful. I'm not gonna lie, it's not very fun to deal with. It's not great, but I manage. It's not like it's a massive mental burden or anything, but it kind of screws with your day a little bit. Fucks with their mood as well. It's kind of awkward. Um, and also one thing I noticed about like these lobbies in general is, they're aimed to be pretty friendly, usually are like the more moderated ones. So you can't really swear much. And what was kind of awkward to me is they say keep conversations PG-13. Yeah, I said the N-word with just like the regular, just nigga. I just said it like that without the freaking ER. Because why would I do that? That's mean. But yet they want to come up to me and tell me to not say that after they were literally talking about titties. How, like, explain to me how the fuck that makes sense. If you want me to follow your rules, follow your own rules first. Because now what that does is causes another problem. That kind of creates a gap of trust or lack of it between like the group and the user. It's kind of a problem. You see where that's kind of a problem? Because if they make their own rules and they don't follow their own rules, then why the fuck do you have it there in the first place? Why can't I just have said that and just have it moved on? And that's the part that bothers me so much about this. It's like people set their own rules and they don't follow their own shit. That is so annoying. And that's why when I make my own rules for my groups and stuff, which I'm going to update soon, I will obviously allow people like, yeah, you can swear and stuff, things like that. Yeah, go ahead. Just don't carry like away. Just don't get carried away with it, basically, is all I say. Like, yeah, you can drop a couple of F-bombs or, things like that, because I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to my kind of branding and channel and stuff, I'm not very professional. I will be when I need to, but just the type of stuff that I do, I don't really need to be. I don't really need to like fully like censor myself, you know what I mean? I'm expressing myself how I want to do that. So that's kind of how I am with my content. So yeah. If I get to do that in my corner, then I guess I'm just gonna create group only instances and I'll just be like, yeah, you can do those things, just don't get carried away kind of thing. But wow, it's just like there's no way. Like you'll come put in the comments below like how that kind of like grinds your gears, I guess, when people set their own rules and then you catch them not following them right afterwards. That doesn't make sense. And I understand the N-word, or in this case, nigga, isn't really, appreciated. It's looked down upon. But I'm not calling someone that. I'm just saying that. You know what I mean? Like I'm using it as like a filler word in this case, or something like that. Well, can I even say it's a filler word? Probably. I used it as one like a couple times though. Well, I use it to describe myself, basically. That's what it was. I use it to describe myself, and if I use it to describe myself, it should be completely fine because I'm not disrespecting anyone in any way, or I'm not disrespecting myself either. So, but that's not really like the whole point, to be honest. But what just really gets me is how they have their own rule set and they don't fucking follow it. That makes no sense. Oh, I don't get this. But yeah. Besides that, since for those who made it a lot later into the video, this is actually my new OC or main branding for the channel. So if you like that, obviously you should see me sticking around because this one I plan to have permanent. And also for others who also don't know, my partner, yes, I'm gonna mention who my partner is. I'm sure you guys might not know who he is because we're kind of like different audiences, but who knows? Some of y'all might see my stuff. And for those who don't know, Dr. Fluffy is actually my boyfriend. So there's that, I guess. Yippee. Yeah. I hope this can last a minute. Or a minute. I was like, as long as it can, to be honest, because I like long-term relationship. But anyways, that's kind of besides the point, besides all that stuff. I'll also try to see if I can make a video kind of discussing slightly more serious topics. Not like the gloomy and doomy kind of topics. I'm talking like, you know, how I'm feeling, what I can do to improve what I'm doing. Um Things like that basically. Maybe a couple Q&As every now and then, because here's what I want. I want me and you, the audience, the viewer, to have clear communication every now and then as to what's going on, so there's not some sort of random disconnect. Let's say if I disappear for like a month or something, um, and I don't upload anything for a month, right? This is just gonna be like kind of an odd example. I don't really know how to explain this, but you guys will probably just be like, instead of having a bunch of mysteries as to where I went, you can have sort of a configuration as to, oh, maybe she's just busy. Because, you know, I could be either that or, oh, she's just too lazy to upload. That could be pretty much it too. That's usually my reasons. But yeah, I'm trying to get a more consistent schedule and build up my channel because I really want this to go somewhere. But yeah, it's kind of it for that little segment. So yeah, when I get a chance, their communication between us is going to be more often. Maybe like every couple of videos or something. I'll even give it like its own playlist, and see where that kind of goes. But yeah, like I said, thank you guys so much for watching my stuff, and thank you to my amazing patrons for supporting my content. You guys mean actually a lot to me, because I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting anyone to even check out my Patreon at like less than 400 subs. I didn't think I would have anyone in there, but wow, that's amazing. Thank you guys. And also, speaking of that ASMR mic, for those who also made it this far, I'm gonna try and buy it, but I might need some help doing so, because, you know, address stuff and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I might try to buy it now. I'm not too sure though. Oh geez, hiccups. But yeah, and full body trackers as well. That's also happening for, like, you know, the videos and the streams and whatnot. Also, the streams. Speaking of those will be getting shorter. Yeah, because, you know, schedule stuff. And also, I'll re-record this segment as well and put another clip of this at the beginning of the video so people get it right away. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyways, I tried to run into town. That kind of scared me, but anyways, I have to go now, because it's getting kind of late and I have to edit this, so yeah. Anyways, goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye.